So today's workout is we're going to really carry forward the theme of the last few weeks with sort of slow, considered, steady movement, focusing on hips, focusing on core, focusing on mobility. This one's perhaps a little bit more straightforward than previous weeks. It's just a very simple circuit. We've got 12 exercises in the circuit, and we're going to do that circuit 3 times, and it's as simple as that, and that's all we're going to do. The exercises kind of alternate between upper body and sort of lower body, hips and leg work, just moving from one to the other. Hopefully there's a nice sense of flow. I'll take you through the exercises. There's 12 different exercises, and then we'll crack on with the workout. So, first exercise, down on the floor, is a push-up, but it's a push-up with a little bit of a difference. It's called a push-up plus, but we're adding a little bit of a Cobra movement to it as well. So, in this position, usually when you push up, whichever variation of the push-up you're going to do, whether it's on your knees or on your toes, take it down and then come up. So it's this kind of pace we're looking at working at. It's not all out faster stuff. So it's down, up, and when you get to the top of the push-up, keep pushing. So you get that protraction of the shoulders, really pushing forward like that. There's almost like a caving in of the core. The back sort of rounds off a little bit. Then you come back to that neutral position, and then you go down to the push-up, and this time you push up into a Cobra, and then you come back down to the bottom of the push-up, and you push up and go that little bit further. So those are the movements for the first 45 seconds. Now you can modify that. Of course, you can do that on your knees, which works quite nicely, or you can elevate. So if you're elevating on a piece of furniture, that's here, down, up, push, then down, and Cobra. Again, you could do that on your knees, down, up, push that little bit further, down, and then Cobra. Although a little trickier on the knees, I think, perhaps when you're more vertical on an elevated surface. Then what we're going to do is take that onto the floor after the push-up. Actually, no, we're not. We're squatting next, rather. So we're taking it down into a squat and working through the legs. And we're going to come up, but again, extending that increased range of movement. So the squat then comes up onto the toes and into a calf raise. Then down onto the floor, down into the squat, really work on your movement, and then come up onto your toes, like that. So it's this kind of pace. Again, you can't really do this fast, otherwise you just fall over. So you've got to really focus on your balance, and as you get higher, you've really got to pull this in nice and tight. Okay, so that's the second movement. Third movement is a movement we did last week. This is the alternating crab reach. So in this position here, the sort of crab walk position, all we're going to do is come up and over, reaching over with the hands, down, alternating, up and over, like that. Modification on that is if you find it a little hard on the arms, you can do it from the shoulders, still getting that level of extension as you come up and over, but keeping the shoulders on the floor, taking the load off the arms and off the shoulders on that one. Now, next thing we're going to do, great exercise for runners, it's called the runner's lunge, and we're alternating that with a full lunge. So what we're going to do with this, you might need something for a little bit of balance. Ideally, if you can keep the back foot off the ground, brilliant, but if you need to tap it down, don't worry. So you're balancing on one leg, and you bend the front knee as you take the leg back, like that. And then you bring it forward into a balanced position, and then you take the foot down into a regular lunge, then you bring it up, extend, back, down. You might need to tap that down, that's absolutely fine if you do. Bring the knee forward, bring it down into a lunge, and then up and extend. So we're doing 45 seconds on the left leg, following it with 45 seconds on the right. Lots of control, lots of balance on that one. Then what we're going to do, now we've done plenty of speed skaters before in the past. What we're going to do now is slow the speed skater right down. Take a big step to the side. I'm just going to curtsey lunge. So we're dealing with rotation there. Step to the side, dealing with rotation. If again you can keep the back foot off the ground as you do that, even better, of a very light point of focus, but really focus on your range of movement on that one. That's the really important thing. Okay, alternating through that, and then the next set, starting with a really wide sort of Tory power stance, and then sit down into an alternating Cossack lunge. Nice and smooth. Then after you've done 45 seconds of that, we're down onto the floor and we're into a plank march. So in this reverse plank position, and we're just bringing the legs up like synchronized swimmers, pointing the toes, bring it up. Again, you can modify this with a crab position and do it that way, whichever you prefer, whichever makes it a little easier to do, but try and do the full high plank position if you can. Okay, then down onto the floor again, and we're side planking this time, so in that side plank position. Now we did the rainbow leg raise a couple of weeks ago. This time, we're just taking it straight out to the side, but what I want you to do is just point the toes down, straight up like that. So you're working this side, and working this side, and working the side of the core, like that. We're gonna do 45 seconds left, 45 seconds right on that. To modify it, you can do it on your knees, and do it like that. Or you can elevate it on the bench if you prefer. Okay, then get in there onto a front plank position, and this time in this position, leg raise, leg raise, leg raise, nice and smooth, really working through the core. And then to finish, Superman, but an ex-Superman, so you're just going to go Henry Cavill, ex-Superman, down, right hand, left leg, left hand, right leg. Alternating through the body, but with the lightest touch as possible, just keeping the other limbs just hovering over the floor if you can. Okay, and that is the circuit. So working it through nice and smoothly. We're not rushing, so we're just moving nice and smoothly from one to the next. Okay, so I'll pull up my timer. When everybody's ready, we'll start on the floor with the push-up and the Cobra. Okay, so in this position, on your marks, get set, and off we go. Lovely, smooth down to the floor, push up, take it through, back, down to the floor, this time up that way, down to the floor, push up, push that little bit further, down, down to the floor, that way. Keep it going, smooth, concentrate. A few extra centimeters of movement as you push into that straight arm. And the same one up here, really focus on your extension. That's it, push up, push away. Back up onto your feet, squat into calf raise now. So up and onto your toes, find your balance. This might be a little tricky for the first few reps. And then you might find you just start to gear that in a little. The core is absolutely key on this. Take your time, up onto your toes, get your heels right up off the floor. Right up off the floor. Nice, smooth movement. Up onto your toes, try not to totter around too much like me. Next move, down onto the floor for the crab reach. In this position here, I'm going to go up, extend, and back. Up, extend, and back. Really opening up the rib cage and activating the glutes, the lower back, the hamstrings. Really nice movement for just opening up and feeling a lot less tight and achy through the hips. Really extend and back. Extend and back. Up onto your feet into this lunge variation now. So balance if you can, but don't worry if you need to tap your foot down. That position into there, lunge, up, extend, bring it back, that position into there, lunge down so it becomes vertical, up, extend the leg, back. If you can balance, like I'm not, that's great. If not, just tap the foot down extend. And down, swap legs. Same thing on the other side. Take the leg back, bring it through, bring it down, vertical lunge, extend the front leg, bring it back. If you can balance, brilliant, go for it. Bring it through, bring it down, up, extend. Take your time. Take it back. It's a little tip over from the hip on this. Bring it through, bring it down, bring it up, extend. Good stuff. Coming to the end. Into the slow speed skaters now. Number 6. Big step to the side. Really take your time here. If you can balance with a really light toe touch on the back of the movement, that's absolutely fine. Really feel this work. Work on your range of movement here. Take your time. Move well. So there's no speed in this. This is smooth. This is slow and controlled. Big step to the side. You might notice little imbalances from one side to the next. I know I am. Big step now and into the Cossack lunge. So moving from side to side. What you'll find as the set goes on, as the circuits go on, you'll be able to get deeper and deeper on this one. Get the hips down really low, practically sitting down into it. 20 seconds. And then we're back down on the floor for the reverse plank march. Take your time. Again, you might notice I know my right side is perhaps a little more mobile than my left. Okay, down onto the floor, into this position, into the reverse plank, march the legs. Try and keep the hips high. Really work on that line. So eye line is really important on this. If you find your hips dropping, correct that first and then move on to the next rep. Really open up the chest. If you find the full plank tricky, do it as the shoulder bridge variation. Still working the back of the body. Okay, onto the side plank now. So shift your weight to here. Make sure you're lined up. And smoothly does it. So this whole section, you've had a big leg section. Now we're moving to quite a big core section. Again, you can shift to your knees if you need to. Point the toes down, keep the heels up. If you feel yourself losing your position, by all means, correct, stop, come out, and then go back into it. Okay, swap it around. Same thing on the other side. So again, get your line, make sure you feel everything lined up and switched on, and off you go. Nice and smooth. So 45 seconds is quite long on this one. It's a tough move. So if you feel the need to come out and come back into it, that's absolutely fine. Keep it going. Adjust if you need to, if you find yourself losing your position. Again, slow and controlled all the way through. Shift it onto the front. Keep the toes pointing downwards here. And lift the leg. So you don't want to take this wide. You don't want to open the hip up. You want everything pointing forward. Engage the glutes. Keep the legs straight. Nice and smooth. Find your line. And don't lose your hip as the leg comes up. Try and be as straight as you can. Pull the belly button in. Down onto the floor for number 12. That's your Superman. Right hand, left leg. Left hand, right leg. Alternating through the set. So again, this allows you to just isolate a little bit more and focus on one side at a time. Keep going. If you feel you need to put the hands down like I am at the moment, that's absolutely fine as well. Try it hovering. So both hands and feet hovering, and then you're just moving one at a time. Okay, take a little breather. We've got 45 seconds rest, and then we're going to go again. So we've got 2 more of those circuits. So it's quite a long circuit, but it's smooth. It's nothing too intense, nothing too hardcore. Just enough to keep you moving so you can feel the work. But again, just take a little rest, take a little breather, and then we're back on the floor with the push-up variations. Okay, 15 seconds, quite a short rest on this one. Get down onto the floor. And again, pick the variation of the push-up that works best for you. 5 seconds. Starting now. So take it down, take it up, push that little bit further. So really feel that squeeze at the top through the front of the body. Then take it down, take it up. This time leave the hips where they are and just push the shoulders up. So you're alternating a really big contraction in this phase. You're really sort of caving in the body as you push that little bit harder. Then bring it down. And then you're doing the exact opposite. You're opening it out and taking the chest the other way. So you look up and extend. Bring it down, bring it up, push, round everything off. Bring it back, down, and up. Okay, onto your feet. Squat and calf raise now. So down, up onto your toes. Find the balance. Really concentrate on that balance and that control as you squat. Sit the hips down nice and low. Bring the heels up nice and high. Sit it down. 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 Take your time. You do find as the set goes on, you get a little bit wobbly through the calves, but really work on that control. Down onto the floor, crab reach next. So in this position, up and over, and back, up and over. Keep that going, and back. Really reach through it. Extend, really drive from the hips and finish with the arms. As Craig Revel Hall would say, all the way to the fingertips, extend, extend. Okay, into the lunge variations now. Up onto your feet, find your balance, take it back, bring it through. Take it down, bring it up, extend it forward, back, bring it through, take it down, bring it up, kick it forward, very slow kick, down, through, back, take it forward. Lots of control required here. Lots of balance. Change legs. Same thing on the other side. Here comes my wonky side. As you can see, bring it through. Take it down, up, extend. Feel that hamstring stretch. Bring it back. Balance if you need to. Bring it through. Bring it down. Bring it up. And extend. Take it back. Find your balance. Bring it through. Take it down. Up. And extend. Slow skate is next now. So big step to the side. Curtsey down. Big step to the side. Curtsey down. Keep it going. Curtsey down. Nice movement, everyone. If you can get it with a very light touch of that back leg, even better, because it means you're really controlling it with the hip, not relying too much on that. So really get this working. Think about your control here. Whoops, I'm all over the shop. Keep going. Core, hips down. That's it. Big step. So you're dealing with that side to side movement. Big step. Okay, big step, but this time leaving the leg where it is and into that Cossack lunge. Take it down. Nice and smooth. Pivoting on this heel, sitting on the back heel. You're sitting into your heel essentially. Really get into it. That's nice. Really get into it. Nice one for the hips. This really opens up the hips, but really promotes that really nice hip core connection. So you're stabilizing your upper body as you're taking your hips down to the floor. That's lovely. Keep it going. Onto the plank next. Down onto the floor. Find your position. Up into that plank and march the legs. Now, if you really want to get into the plank but you find it a little hard to hold, what you can do is bring the hips down, bring it up. 1, 2, bring it down, bring it up. 1, 2. Whichever works best for you. Number of different variations here. Ideally, if you can hold it up in that plank position for the full 45, that's the best. Keep working, keep the hips up, refocus, keep the hips up. They drop a little bit when I lift my leg up, so I'm going to keep going. That's it, onto the side now. This position here, find that side plank, take the top leg up. So there's quite a lot going on this one. Lots of changes, lots of focus changes, keeping the body guessing as you're working through the circuit. Feel that work here, especially through the core. Okay, swap sides. Same thing on the other side again, of course. You can either elevate or do this on your knees, if you prefer, but either way, always make sure that those toes are pointing forward. You're not opening up like that. You want this to point forward. Make sure your hips are in line with your shoulders and you're not sitting back. Make sure everything's working. Your glutes play a big part in this. Squeeze the glutes, engage the glutes, line up the body. If you were to take an overhead camera and look at your body position, ideally what we want is a perfectly straight line all the way up here. Good stuff. Flip it over onto the front now. Into that front plank position. Keep the toes pointing down. Again, you can elevate this on a sofa or you can do plank on knees if you find plank on toes a little tricky, but try and do it on your toes for as long as you can. Nice and smooth. Great work, everybody. Keep going, keep working. Last one's coming up. Down onto the floor, Superman position. Hands and toes off the floor. Lift. 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 Keep it going. So it just allows you to focus on one glute at a time. One side might be a little tighter perhaps than the other. So it allows you to really focus on that movement. Improve it. Nearly there. Okay, take a breather. Good job everyone. One more to go. So nice, simple work, just one more circuit and then we're finished. So good work everybody. Again, you know, it's not as hardcore as the weekend work, but it's still not without its challenges. You know, you've got to really focus on moving well and controlling the body through these larger, slower movements. So just take your time, really concentrate, make sure that you're in control wherever you're putting your body basically. Okay, so final circuit now, starting on the floor with a push-up plus into the Cobra. Off you go everyone. Down to the floor, up and push that a little bit further. And down to the floor, push up into the Cobra. Down to the floor, push up and that little bit further. Down to the floor, up, open it out the other way. Keep it going. So there's strength and mobility here. You're always bearing your weight for the full length of the set, no matter how many reps you're doing. Push and then onto your feet. Squat and calf raise next. Down onto the floor, up onto your toes. Down onto the floor, up onto your toes. This is smoothly done. Down, up, really squeeze this. This is where the control comes from. Down, and up you go. Keep it moving. Lovely work, there's not long to go on this. This is where you notice all the weak spots in your chain. Again, this will really help with your control if you're out running. Okay, down onto the floor now. Alternating crab reach. Up and over. And back. Up and over. And back. Keep going, really work on that extension. That's it, keep going. Lovely work. Keep moving, look towards your free hand. That extension, see where it's going. Look towards it. Open out the rib cage, not long. And then we're into these runners lunges. Onto your feet. Next thing we're going to do is the lunge. So take it back, bring it through, take it down, bring it up, kick forward, bring it back, bring it through, bring it down, kick forward, take it back, bring it through, bring it down. You know the rest. Okay, swap it round. Same thing on the other leg. So, find your balance first before you move. Take it back. Bring it through. Take it down. Up. Kick the leg forward. Take it back. Extend. Bring it through. Stand tall. Take it down, be tall as you lunge down, bring up, posture, kick the leg through, take it back, hinging from the hips as flat a back as you can manage, bring it through, take it down, and up you go again. Now, slow skaters next, to the side, curtsey lunge, big step, curtsey lunge. Sometimes that change in pattern can take a few reps to warm into. Your body's just got used to moving in one way, and then you're asking your legs to move in a completely different direction. So just take your time with it, feel your way through it. That's it, but you want to get that hip working, get it down nice and deep. Okay, the next thing we're going to do after this is the Cossack. So take a big step to the side, leave the feet there, and this time take it down that way. Take your time with it. And again, get as low as you dare, as low as you feel you can control. Probably this is a lot lower than you were getting in the first set, because your hips have warmed up really nicely now. You've got that little bit more control in the bigger range of movement. That's it, and then after this we're moving on to the plank section. Okay, reverse plank next. Into this position, hips up high, march the feet. Keep an eye on your hip position, make sure the hips are in line with the shoulders, the knees and the ankles, that they don't drop out of line. If you do find yourself losing your line, adjust, bring the hips back up, or sit down and then reset. Try and open that chest right out. I just caught myself shrugging my shoulders a little bit there. Try not to do that. Really open the chest. Makes the whole unit a lot stronger. Okay, switch it over. Onto the side now. Again, line yourself up before you move. Point the toes forward into that side lunge. Side lunge, side plank rather. Find yourself losing position, reset, and go again. Not long. Hold that position. Take it out. Lovely job. Switch it round, or even swatch it round. Push it forward. Line up. Just feel these obliques working as you hold yourself in position. The movement just adds that little bit more instability, that little bit more complexity. So your body has to deal with that little bit more to hold yourself in position. Again, you might spot one side stronger than the other, but that's fine. That's the whole point. This one-sided work is to balance things out and strengthen your weaker side. Okay, onto the front plank now. Into position, toes down, heels up, straight leg, alternate sides. And again, really focus on that core. You don't want to arch the lower back on this one. So if you find yourself hiking it up like just as I was doing there, really pull that core in tight a little bit more. So you're just working with hip extension. You're not hyperextending the back in any way. That's good. Keep going. On the floor for Superman finish. Last exercise. That's it. Good stuff. Really focus on the glutes, especially, and the shoulder, and the opposite shoulder. So take that shoulder off the floor. It's not just the arm, it's the hip and the opposite shoulder. Really focus on that. This is where perhaps putting your hands on the floor, the ones that aren't working, gives you that little bit more stability so you can focus on a better range of movement. And take a rest. And that's it, everybody. Really well done. Really well done. So nice, simple, I'd say gentle work this morning, but really good stuff. Have a little rest and stretch, and I'll see you on the weekend. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.